Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the CEO Strategic Game, and we are returning to a Let's Play of War in the West, where we're playing as the Allies. We've done a major encirclement of German forces here in sort of Western Germany, in the Saarland, in the Alsace region. So I've counted this. It's not that many divisions actually, even though they are spread around quite a large area here. It's about 11 divisions that we've encircled over here, but in addition to that, quite a number of fortified zones, a number of building units, a number of headquarters and all of that. So quite a large area that has been encircled over here. We've got a relatively decent line running from the south to Darmstadt, and from the north, from Cologne, and nearly towards Frankfurt. We haven't quite captured Frankfurt, we haven't quite captured Stuttgart, but maybe next turn. So let's see what the Germans are going to do. I do expect them to try to break through in the Mainz-Wiesbaden gap over here, but nevertheless, I'm extremely happy about this. Just to give you a feeling, I think I tried to measure that out on the map. It's about nearly 400 kilometers that we did cross over here, so more than 200 miles actually. So yeah, very, very nice to see. Let's see what the Germans are going to do about that, and whether in fact they are going to do anything about that. So yeah, let's see. I'm very, very intrigued. Probably they're going to try to break out. Probably they are going to achieve that even. But maybe we can sort of close it then and again and for good. Oh, it looks like we are getting a lot of this territory here because these guys are sort of losing a little bit there. Right, that's good to see. So yeah, Berlin seems pretty bombed out. Stettin, some of the V weapons there, so that's good to see as well. Again, Frankfurt and Stuttgart under their control. Where's all of this region here? But you can see they are already having some troubles here with the supply, I think. Yeah, they are trying to break through here, but it seems they just didn't quite make it. So there seems to be still some connection that is still under our control, and that is a great news, because that does mean all of these units here will count as isolated on our turn, and that does give them various debuffs during, I think, administrative and various other things. So that's really, really nice to see. Now the big question is, what are we going to do about that? And that is going to be a little bit more complicated, because I'm not actually sure whether we need to finish off all of these troops here that are in this pocket. There's very little industry in here, with the exception of Mainz, Koblenz, Trier, Saarbrücken, Karlsruhe and Offenburg. They have pretty much no towns in this. This is a relatively not that densely populated area, honestly, in Germany. So I think we might actually leave some of these units here left to rot. Now, not all of them. What I do think we need is, since our rail line is coming into Mulhouse here, we probably need to run to Strasbourg and then on this side of the River Rhine. So at least get that side of the River Rhine so that we can build up a supply here to Frankfurt and Stuttgart. So that's definitely something that we do need to capture. And I do think we have a rail line running into here. So it might be a good idea to run that via Saarbrücken into Darmstadt, like such, and maybe into Frankfurt, and these guys are going to drop down to Stuttgart. So that might be one of the alternatives here that we have open to us. Of course, we definitely want to capture these units here, though. They are still kind of fast, and they're still kind of aggressively posturing over here, but not necessarily all of these troops. One of the other things is we might also want to capture their depots. Now, these ones we are sort of going to naturally capture if we go for this and this route. These ones we'll need to be mindful about. Ida, Oberstein and Trier, these are probably the ones that we really, really want. So yeah, I think that's going to be okay. Now, the Germans have sent a lot of troops here on this front line now. That's to be expected, and not a big surprise there, but what that does mean is they probably pulled these troops off from somewhere. Oh, look at that. They actually have a gap here in Nijmegen. And that's nice, because there will be these gaps and there will be these tiny, tiny weak spots in the German line, which will then allow us to break through, maybe get a crossing here at Nijmegen, maybe get a crossing here and then encircle a couple of units. That's probably not going to work because of the zone of control and the rivers here, but you get the idea. That is something that we might achieve just by superiority of force. That being said, a lot of our troops are currently tied down on this sort of border, so that is probably something that we do want to finish up. So that's quite interesting. I'm going to look at that in much more detail in between episodes. Let's just take a look here at the Italian border. And it does look like, again, they did pull off a couple of units here. Not all of them. There are still some very strong units, including full divisions here. But we can advance. We can sort of flow into these little gaps and try to push up and sort of make it more difficult for the Germans. This down here we'll just need to solve, but I did pull back the tanks here. So I think these guys will work out. We've got the Greeks there now here. And ultimately we'll probably send the tanks up towards Germany. Because I think just the Alps are no tank terrain, absolutely. So yeah, that's great. Let me see whether I can find weak spots here and what I'm going to do with the air phase. So I see you guys in a second. Right guys, and here we go. I've done the air setup. Now, looking at the front line, there don't seem to be that many places where we can create additional breakthroughs. So actually, as you can probably not see, but if you can see probably this way, is we've pretty much focused on just reducing these pockets down here, cutting a little bit along the lines of attack, how we want to cut this pocket potentially into pieces. So I think this is going to be our focus this term, trying to do this basically. In terms of city bombing, we are bombing the oil fields down here in basically Hungary / Yugoslavia, and we're going to attack Hanover for the tanks, as well as the area slightly to the west of that due to the rail yards there, simply to decrease the mobility there. So not going to be the most exciting turn, but still it's going to be fine and fantastic to actually get a lot of Germans hopefully to surrender. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Also do look at the losses over here. They are really coming in play in force. And I should talk about one more thing, and that is of course the supply situation. Now the supply situation is often quite a bit, I mean, it's not the most exciting bit about war, but it's so crucial to our entire war effort. And I'm very intrigued and happy because we have been able last time around to build rail lines all the way up to both Essen in the Ruhr area and slightly to the south of that to Cologne. And these lines are now properly established as depots, which we should be able to see over here. So yeah, you can see Essen is now a depot. It is set to priority 4, so stuff should be sent from Antwerp all the way to Essen. That should work. And also Cologne is now connected up to these hexes, so I've pretty much changed the priority on all of these things, so that should now be much easier to send up. Likewise, Nancy over here is going to be depot, and that is going to be a huge change because before Nancy, the last depot on this line here was actually Lyon. As you can see, the rail line coming into that is pretty much overtaxed, and the one going out of that is not used at all. So this is going to be a huge improvement to our supply situation, and this here likewise. How many supplies are we now getting from Antwerp? 27,000. I do expect that to be more next turn. So yeah, huge improvement there. Right, now one thing I do want to do is in the north over here, try to get into the rear of the German lines here by capturing Nimwegen, and that is going to be alright. So we have now captured that. Now I did bomb this field here of cliff. This is heavy woods. I'm not entirely sure whether we'll be actually able to break through there. I kind of doubt it actually a little bit, but let's see whether we can maybe do something. Now there's a full division in here, isn't there? Yeah, it is. Okay, what happens if I do take the division and the light unit here? Okay, let's do a deliberate attack with both of you. Clear the population. Some missions are changed. Okay, they are retreating, and they're retreating hard despite their very strong fortifications. Now, that is lovely, but it doesn't necessarily mean we can move in there, which is the next thing. So let's try to use these guys to at least move in here. And I would, of course, like to close this gap. I would like that very much, but it doesn't seem like we have enough forces, enough mobile forces around here. So, yeah, it just doesn't seem possible. Which is a shame, but nevertheless, it should probably at least get these guys here to withdraw. It's going to ease our front line a little bit, and that is going to be nice to see as well. Also reducing their rail lines just a tiny bit, so that's good to see as well. Right, I don't think we are going to do any other push over here. Our forces are a little bit too weak, and we will definitely need some resupply there, so that's one thing. Now, the next thing is I do want to build up a rail line to Frankfurt, and I would probably like to get Frankfurt itself as well. So first things first, maybe, can we attack over here? Okay, let's do a deliberate attack here with the infantry across this river. Yeah, okay, we are getting them to surrender, actually. 2,500 Germans gone there. That's nice. And that did get us that hex, which is nice. So that's good. These guys here are just cores, so we should be able to push them out of the way relatively easily. There we go. And that does mean we now have some way of advancing down here. That's great. Now, I think the first thing that we probably want to do, though, is I would very much like to really get rid of these guys here as well. So, are we getting them? Yeah, we're getting them to retreat. Now, that is good. Good enough, at least. Okay, let's try to get these guys here to retreat as well. We are getting some casualties here, but I think all in all, we are alright with this. Right, okay. Another retreat over there. Losing 25 men here in the process is not going to be the worst, so I think that's fine. If it does mean we can establish some sort of presence here. Let's take Koblenz itself. I'm not sure whether there was any industry, and we can't check now anymore. Still, that's fine. Right, okay. Nevertheless, we have now a decent rail line here running all the way to down here. Question is, can we get Frankfurt itself? Frankfurt itself would be a great prize, and it is urban terrain, so that's going to be hard to tackle, especially with tanks. So, question is really, can we bring up infantry to support our attack here? Well, we can, so that's nice to see. Now, these guys do have quite a couple of troops there. Well, not quite a couple, but still, it's urban terrain, so it's going to be tough to break through, even if it's just a single infantry division, actually. So that is going to be quite interesting. Okay, two guys here from different corps, but both of them in 3rd Army. Can you get rid of these guys? No. They're in fact holding out very easily here. So that is actually very, very strong here. We are losing casualties there, just not losing a single man here. Wow, that's tough. Okay, you could attack again. And it looks, on paper, looks like that should work. But in fact, it just doesn't. Right, okay, can we bring in these guys maybe? Because these guys do have the very interesting tanks. So maybe that is going to be enough. Okay, Frankfurt population trying to surrender here. And a lot of guys surrendering. So that is very, very nice to see. Yeah, the 1st British Corps, these guys here, with the Assault Engineer Brigade, these are very, very strong units. So very nice push out here out of Frankfurt. And that is a huge development because that actually does mean we can now use... Can we kick you out? Okay, let's try. Yeah, okay. So that does mean we can now use this, or at least the Germans have lost the resupply ability there. So that is fantastic. Let's occupy France with a couple of paratroopers here. Which one is that? 101st Airborne. So nice. Good. Yeah, definitely next thing is we do want to connect up this hex here. But I think the way to do that is actually going to be to cut these guys off and potentially do some real damage here on this side. So I don't want to attack across the river. Nevertheless, what we can do is attack sort of into here, can't we? That seems to be tough, but nevertheless, if we do take 2 divisions here, can we attack this SS tank division? Okay, yeah, we did get them to retreat, lovely. And that does mean we can probably advance and then kill them off here in mines. Mines population is evacuated. Ooh, and you guys are actually holding out here. And not too badly, actually. So you guys are pretty tough here. Even though you've suffered all of these supply issues. Okay, that does mean we do need to shore up our defenses here to make sure that we've got actually a proper line there. So, yeah, let's try to do that. That does mean we need to see a little bit of how many forces we've got left standing up over here. Okay, decent line now. That does mean you guys can advance forward. Let's get you towards Rhine-Main Airfield. Well, let's actually get you into Wiesbaden. I think that's a decent choice there. You guys are going to have a hard time to attack across this, or come across this river as these guys are still there. So it would really, really be nice to try to take you out. Do we not have any tanks down here? Well, we've got the French tanks, but they are a little bit low on supply. And this was just not a good attack at all. How about these South Africans? Okay, let's try to get you here. And then all of you are going to attack. You are evacuating to Weimar. I don't know how you can do that, but yeah, there we go. 7,000 Germans gone. Nice. Okay, and that does give us some flexibility here to deal with a couple of other things. Can we get you into? Yeah, we can indeed. Get you at least over here, which is fine and lovely, and then you guys can sort of do whatever you need to. Right. Okay. Fine. So yeah, the line is looking a little bit better, I would say, over here. Right. Okay. Speaking of the line, now we want to get this right bank of the River Rhine here. So unfortunately, you can't really cross over here, or you could, but it just doesn't seem like a good thing to do. So, and I would ideally like to take out these guys here first. Right. Nevertheless, these Germans do look a little bit menacing because they are kind of strong, actually. So, yeah, we don't want to be caught off guard here. Right. Now, again, just getting rid of these guys here would be easier if we got first rid of that fort there. So, it's tough terrain. Now, let's try to get you there. Let's do an attack on these guys. Yeah, okay, we've cleared out the fortified zone there. That does mean you guys can now... Where do you want to attack it? This is rough terrain. This is city terrain. Let's attack into the city first. You're holding out, are you? Actually, you're holding out quite fine there. You don't have a depot down there, do you? No. Okay, let's do a deliberate attack here. At least got you guys to retreat. That's fine then. Can you do a deliberate attack now? Well, you could, of course, but would it be enough? Well, let's try to give you some tanks, even though this is an attack into a city. Nope, just really, really very far away, actually, from overwhelming them. I would really love to get rid of you, though. Okay, these tanks are here as well. Nevertheless, I do think we should push them up towards, let's say, Mannheim. But on the other hand, let's get an infantry to Mannheim. I think that's going to be the better idea. Right, you guys do hold a line. We do need to maintain some resemblance here. Otherwise, otherwise the enemy is going to be very quick to formulate a breakthrough somewhere. Okay, that does hold though. So at least we've achieved that. Okay, let's try to get onto Saarbrücken. I think what we should try to do here is, let's think about that. Okay, let's move you up here, and then both of you are going to do a hasty attack. That will probably push you back towards Saarbrücken itself. Fine. Let's do advance. Let's try to get you out of Saarbrücken, because we have beaten you. No, this is very much not like it at all. Yeah, it is an attack across the river after all. This is the area that historically was very hard to manage for the Americans. Right, let's try to get you some tank support. Now you're evacuating. That does seem to be an indication that maybe we're going to break through. Nope, I completely jinxed it. Right, how about you attack here? Could work. Nope, you're holding out as well. Okay, so yeah, we do actually have some trouble to create good breakthroughs. Nevertheless, I think we should still continue to try to push up over here. So, okay, you guys are all a little bit difficult to move up. So let's actually try to move you into here. And let's do another attack, another hasty attack. Yeah, that one does work as I thought it would. So that's nice. And up over here. Yeah, let's try to at least get you out of the way. And I do think, well, I don't think we're going to build anything in Metz. So these guys did actually surrender, which is also lovely to see. Right, that does mean we can probably advance with these tanks. Can we get rid of the fortifications? Well, not independently, no. Okay, let's get you into Metz, and then both of you guys are going to try to get rid of that guy. Yeah, at least we are pushing him away. So that is something. Okay, that does mean the infantry can move forward. Yeah, just ever so slowly though. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit frustrating to clear if we do want to clear. We don't actually need to do that. Nevertheless, some of the areas that we should try to capture very much are the ones, of course, here with the supply depots. Right, okay. You guys move. Where are you going to move? We don't have anyone here in the south who can shore up the defenses, do we? Okay, I'm going to take a risk over here, and I'm going to take all of these guys here and attack the city of Offenburg. We're getting them to surrender. That is lovely. That does mean we can now advance some of these guys back towards the front line, which is nice. And should give us some respite there. Right. You guys can actually also advance. Let's get you to Strasbourg. These are the Brazilian infantry divisions, which is nice to see that they are over here. Right. Okay, you guys do get over here. That is a very slow advance actually against the pocket, but still, we did get rid of the most dangerous divisions up here, I think, so that is nice. Okay, but I think that does settle it for the south, because we don't really have... Well, no, we do. Right, where can you guys go? Maybe over here, yeah. Just you guys, the infantry first. You guys are going to get over here. You're going to relieve the tank. The tank can now move down here, I would say, and try to get rid of them. Well, it's one thing that we can do. Let's try to show up you guys with the motorized support. Ah, damn it, and you're holding. Let's do a deliberate attack here. Okay, this time we are capturing the depot, which is good, because obviously that does mean it's going to be a little bit harder for them to resupply. Alright. Now that does settle it for the south down here. Does it? No, there's still another division over here, which we can move up. Another tank division here. You also weirdly assigned. Let's do assign it to the 1st French Free Army. I should have picked a corps. Nevertheless, still fine. Okay, good over here. I like it. We're slowly reducing that. Slowly, but we are. So that's good. Okay, you guys are basically all set up over here. Now, we don't really need this tank to be here, right, do we? Right, so what we can do is come down here, attack into Landau. You guys should be able to kick out the Germans there. Yeah, Landau depot is captured. And then what we can do is try to get here next, right? Get the next depot at Germersheim. Now, Karlsruhe would be a very lovely place to attack. Do we have any infantry around here? Yes, we do. Okay, let's take the Canadians towards Karlsruhe. Why can't you get over here? Interesting. Okay, well, in that case, let's get you over here. Oh, I accidentally did select the headquarter here. I did not intend to do that. Right, okay, you guys move down here. That does mean these Indians can come up over here as well. And then you guys do jointly attack Karlsruhe. Deliberately, because we really would like to capture that. Okay, we are capturing it, and a couple of Germans do go into captivity, which is very nice to see as well. Right, since we are here, let's try to get rid of them. They're surrendering, I did think as much, which is lovely. Okay, and since we are here, let's try to get rid of these guys as well. No, we can't. Well, maybe the Canadians can? No, you can't. You guys? Well, the motorized division here can do an attack, but it's not supported by anything. Well, we don't need to capture the entire rail line. We don't have anything to repair the entire rail line anyway this turn. So, that being said... No, I think this is pretty much fine. Yeah, the line is looking good to me. Well, except for this. Okay, actually, one of you guys actually does need to come back to here. Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Headquarters is now saved. All of you guys are fine over here. That does mean we can move up a couple of you guys. You're all pretty much sat over here. Anyone else who is left over here who we could spare to do something else? Well, not really. Even Cologne is looking a little bit flimsy here with this setup. Maybe we actually need to pull back a couple of guys, don't we? We've got the Polish Armoured Corps. Let's have a look at this over here. So we've got Mending, which does have about 4,000 supplies stored up. Trier has about 8,000, and Ida Oberstein doesn't seem to have any. Trier is guarded just by corps, so there's no actual army there. But we do actually need to move into it. Right, okay, let's try to come down here. We are displacing a couple of guys, which is fine. You guys are a fortified zone, so you are impeding our movement. Let's try to get rid of them. Okay, that went swinging. Leave fine. Good, let's try to get rid of you. Yeah, you're also surrendering. So, does that now mean I have someone who can actually get into Trier? Yes, we do. Nice. That's another depot for the Germans gone. That pretty much means they only have either Oberstein and Mending. Right. No one else here that does have... No, some Canadian tanks who could go to either Oberstein. Let's get you into there. That's okay. I like it, actually. Good. We don't need the city itself. We just need to occupy the base there. And these 4,000 points of supply, I'm not going to carry them a long way, mind you, but it would still be nice to try to get that. So let's try to pull a couple of units here. Do attack there. We are capturing it, and that does spell pretty much disaster for the Germans, who have now... They're not only isolated now, they're also out of supply. And I think we can't really wish for anything more than that. So, yeah, that is very, very nifty. Right, you guys are obviously all going to move on to some of these hexes. You guys are going to build the rail line down to Frankfurt, since we do have it in Cologne. We've got someone over here who's going to build it up to Luxembourg. So that does beg the next question. Do we want to advance onto here, basically? Do we want to build a rail line down here and join up on Saarbrücken? It might not be the worst idea. So let's actually try to do an attack here with you guys. Don't know whether you're going to be successful. You are. So that is lovely. Let's build the rail line into Luxembourg then. And well, what's the next thing for us to do here? So we are building the line down there. We do have a good connection to there. So I think you're actually fine. We don't need to do too much crazy things with you there. So that does mean you might actually want to connect this up down here, which is just sort of a small bonus tangential line that we're going to have here. Can't move up any further, but that's all right. Right, okay. You guys have built it towards Luxembourg. I could advance you further, but again, I think it is going to be a good opportunity to actually connect these lines here. To at least try to do that, so that we do get a more comprehensive network that does allow us to do not just supply, but also strategic redeployment of any forces, and that should give us a little bit more flexibility. So yeah, that's nice. We do now have a decent, or are going to have next term, a decent connection, actually all the way from Marseille towards, well, basically all the rest over here. And we only haven't connected these lines here, since they do run parallel for the most part. Right, how are you going to continue? Northern route, southern route doesn't seem to make any difference, so let's do the southern route here. Let's build you towards Saarbrücken. Okay, you guys are blocking that a little bit. Can I move you out of the way? Well, yes, I can. Okay, let's do that then. Right, okay, you guys gonna get over here, and then can't move you back. That's okay though. Yeah, and then you guys are over here, and we will send someone down here to the south to take care of Colmar as well, because that is going to be quite crucial. We don't really have any supply over here. We only have that from Belfort, and also to some extent from Nancy. Okay, fine. Good. I think that does settle it though for the north. Oh no, you can actually move up a little bit further. Right. Question is, do we... You guys are fine over here. You could potentially do some attacks here on these places. Question is, what good does that actually do for us? Now, we do need to protect this line over here, so I actually think that what we might want to do then is, actually let's move the headquarter out here. Let's move you into here. Maybe you guys can, anyone can get over there? No. Okay, nevertheless, we can attack these guys here in the middle. That does isolate these guys there in the north, which we can then take on. They're surrendering. 3,000 Germans gone. Get you down here. Let's attack these guys there. That does completely isolate you. So you can't retreat anywhere, and that does mean we can't take you out. That's lovely. That basically covers the entire flank there, which in turn does mean you guys are also free to move up somewhere else. We might actually want to guard the southern frontier, which we are going to do now. Let's also get into Darmstadt. We don't want to give that up without a fight. And that's going to be alright. Okay, you guys don't do anything funny over here. I think that's going to be okay. Right, basically that does settle this. We do have a couple of further units that we are just going to move up. That's not too exciting, so I'm then going to do that off screen. But let's look at Italy. So, very fragmented front line here in the... What region is this? Dolomites. So this must be Southern Tyrol, I think. Southern Tiroler. So, yeah, I think what we're going to do is simply going to try to advance through these gaps and take up positions to start to just threaten their front lines and threaten their flanks, which I think is going to be alright. Okay, let's move you up here. You guys can get over there. You guys can... Oh, I did miss one spot here. Nevertheless, that's working out fine. Yeah, okay. You guys, you could move up, of course, but no point doing that, really. So let's move you up as well. Can you get into there? Yeah, you could. Can you take a spot? No. It's not the end of the world, though, if we don't occupy this spot here. It just might drag them in further, actually. So that does mean you can move up further. The only issue is you're already low on supply. So I'm a little bit hesitant to do that. Okay, let's pull you guys in nevertheless. Maybe we're going to advance with them, maybe with the other unit. I don't quite know yet. But that's going to be okay. Right, you guys do advance further. You guys, alright. Maybe let's move you here so that maybe we can threaten this a little bit more substantially. And up over here, the Poles are going to sort of infiltrate through these lines. Everyone else up here, I don't think that looks too interesting at all. So yeah, we're not going to do any attack on a mountain position, so that's fine. But let's look at the situation down here. This is just so odd, and I honestly, frankly, really hate it that the mechanics down here do seem to lead to a slightly awkward position. Okay, right. Nevertheless, you guys did get them to retreat. Let's get you over here. You guys are there. That's fine. Let's get one of these tank units down here. Let's attack you. You should retreat to over there. And then we can completely bob you. You're going to surrender. That's, of course, very lovely. And fine. Let's try to attack you guys then. We can't do a deliberate attack here. Maybe if we do take the Poles as well. Right, let's just simply try to do it. Yeah, that's the thing. We are now trying to fight a position here that we really can't outflank, nor can we do really anything about it. So this is really frustrating to me. It does probably show, right? Okay, let's pull back the tanks so that they don't, and that they can regain some of their strength here. And you guys can probably join up next time. That's okay. We've got a full infantry unit here in reserve, basically, as we've got these guys. That's all alright. We probably want to send you... Well, we probably want to send you actually into these mountains, right? You've got a little bit of supply. You guys are starting to suffer a little bit. Let's actually pull you back. And we're going to put you into reserve just in case they do attack. And that's fine. Okay, and these tanks... I would like to use them down here. But frankly, what we're going to do then is we are going to put you on a rail car and send you as far towards France as we can. So that does work. Right. Okay, one last tank over here. You guys, I'm going to move you down here towards Trieste. And if we can get rid of these guys here next time, I'll probably also rail it towards France. And that's fine. Good. So overall, let's briefly look at the situation as is. So in terms of losses, 60,000 Germans gone this turn, which is nice. Their total ready men are starting to look like it's below 2 million now, which is a great success here. So yeah, slowly but surely we are wearing them down, which is nice. In terms of guns, that's not totally indicative of their actual combat strength. A lot of these guns are flak guns, which we are taking out as we are taking cities. About 2,000 German tanks, which is not great. Slightly less ready German tanks, of course. Aircraft, yeah, that's just recovering so quickly here. Yeah, just look at that. If we do look at over a larger time frame here, you do get a feeling that they are really starting to tank down here. This is, of course, the surrender of Italy, I think at least. This turn 6 or 7? No, this must be the surrender of Italy. I think this is the invasion of Sicily. This is the surrender of Italy, and they were fairly stable at 2.5 million or so for a very long time, and now they are below 2 million. So yeah, I think the Germans are nosediving over here, and even though they've got enormous reinforcements, that's just really not going to be sustainable for them. Oh, one more thing. Do notice the Soviet lines are pushing out over here, and they are nearly close to Warsaw, which is one thing. The more important thing is, for us at least, they have captured Plötzi, and that does mean all of these oil fields are now out of the control of the German lines. And this is really interesting. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to see you guys next time. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.